Oh, I think
Yes,
should
we're
have
here
that.
live. All right, so it's on. All right, yeah, we're here. It's been
We're here, you
quite
guys.
the week, just of busyness. So welcome to Eden Awakening Live. We are awakening, and it's messy sometimes when we
Well,
awaken.
yeah, and you know how it is when you're in a transition in life, and it's really interesting how it works. Like our neurological system is just programmed. I know for us, just we'll go, go, go. And isn't it, hello, we're living our message, right? End of effort, paddles up, let the current take you, stay in the hum. So yeah, we're the guinea pigs. And what I've been seeing and just feeling into in my body, I know, is the transition. And right in between this window, right, when we come into a new place, I know for me, my body is just saying, okay, pause. Let's just release this last season.
Yeah.
If we need to grieve it out, release it out, and not allow the old layers to try to come on to the new season. I know that's like hit my head too at times, like, oh, is this just going to be a repeat? Oh, all this stuff. When you know in your spirit, and Papa God and everybody from the hum table has just been telling us, no, you have arrived in the ripe season. You're right where you're supposed to be. And where we are right now, you guys, is
Is
we're back
Sorry.
in Nashville. Read your shirt. There you go.
Johnny Cash.
We are back in
So-
Nashville. So,
Oh man,
yeah.
it's in the morning.
So no, as you can see, our bodies are just like wanting to rest, but we wanted to jump on here because, we missed last Sunday and just to kind of just give you guys a real update.
Did we?
And yeah,
I thought we were on last Sunday.
no, because we were in transition. We were loading up the van, dear.
That's right.
Poor Meyer. He
No pour nothing. Just hey, we're here in all of our messiness.
yes, just raw and real.
Yeah. So welcome again. We are in transition and still being in transition.
Internally, physically,
always.
externally.
Like Amy said, and forgive me, I'm still kind of waking up. This morning I was just kind of like, whoa,
We're
in a
adjusting
daze,
to the time
a
frame.
daze, adjusting. But yes, we are in Nashville area, and there's a story behind this, and we'll give you a snapshot of it, but sometime we'll tell it in length. But about 11 years ago, I had a vision. It wasn't a vision. It wasn't bad pizza or anything. This was really as clear as day. Hey, good morning, Amy.
There's our faithful
Janine, I'm sure, is there.
Janine is probably going to jump on any minute.
You back from your cruise, I suppose.
Apparently we need to go on one.
Yeah, a little groggy today. But anyway, we wanted to jump on because we're excited about this season. And it doesn't matter how messy it is, because awakening is messy. So back to Nashville. All right, we are in Nashville. Yay! Lots locked and loaded with some things that we really dream of and have vision for this area. Never thought it would happen. It's not a place we would put like number one on our list. That would be Hawaii.
Yes.
But it's never ultimately about our wants and likes and preferences and desires. At the surface level, right? I mean, God does give us the desires of our heart. That's internal, but it does manifest on the outside to where you can actually be in a place that maybe not be number one on your list, but you fall in love with it, the people, the land, the message, whatever it is, right? So about 11 years ago, got a vision. Just saw it plain as day. Wrote it down in scratch handwriting, and I should show that to you. We'll post a picture underneath of this afterwards.
Yeah, in the comments or something.
Yeah, and what it was I was handcuffed to a golden eagle, large, the ones really large eagles, and I was handcuffed to it, and I was being flown over the Bat Building, the AT&T towers in Nashville.
The Bat Building.
I was being flown over, handcuffed. A lot to that, but I was handcuffed.
Hence, we'd rather be in Hawaii. No.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys, you want to come to Nashville. It's
I know,
it's
because
awesome.
you get a musical too.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things to love about it, for
Mm-hmm.
real. So, handcuffed to an eagle, I'm flying over the AT&T building, and then the words "new sound" were just kind of hovering in the air, and then I
Yeah.
saw musical notes coming out of the Twin Towers, the Batman building, and God said we would release a new sound. And I didn't know anything about what we're talking about today 11 years ago when I saw that. And wrote it down and kind of tucked it away. And then we had visited Nashville because of our work that we have done in contracting a while back. And then we came last year, we were here for what, 6-8 months,
yeah.
something like that, and doing a contract. And then we saw more of the picture, but we didn't have the full elements yet. And this is what we want to share
babe.
with you guys, is that when you see something as far as like a vision or a dream, and you've had this, carrying in your heart for 20, 30 years, hold on loosely, because we've discovered that
Installments.
there's elements, that were being installed that we had no idea about.
Yeah.
And when you think you know, is when you probably really don't know, because there's layers of conditioning that have to dissolve and come off. And so
Yeah.
when we chase a dream, we're doing that from the surface level of the ego through conditioning, and we're chasing, and we actually push it away, and we don't give room for the elements that are hovering right there to be added to us in stages.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because and Papa had been sharing with me about Nashville back in
Good morning, guys.
2011, and he goes, "You will be going there, but not yet. You'll release the unforced rhythms of my kingdom and all these different things." And so we're like, okay. So we would be just holding on to it loosely. We would get a couple job assignments that would dip us in and out, but not for long, And then this last winter, when we came for, a whole winter and beyond, it was really interesting because it was kind of like breaking hard ground. And we had some amazing prophetic words. Papa and the Hum Table had shared a bunch of stuff with us about it. And just personally, just when I was journaling with Papa. And so when we got there, we're like, oh man, why does this just seem really challenging? Like there's a bunch of internal work going on. And it was nothing like we thought externally too. I mean, It is a big city. There's tons of traffic. It's a dog eat dog for musicians. I mean, you got some of the best musicians here too. And so can you imagine the mental wars? Like we would talk to the locals and they said, oh yeah, this is the land of the broken dreams. Because so many people come in with big, intentions and hearts. Oh, I'm going to make it big. I'm going to get connections, all this kind of stuff. And then they see the competition, or it doesn't happen like they think. And so they bottom out, and then they just numb out and work jobs. We've seen so many people just
Crash and burn.
Depressed, just depressed, right? And they have their gifts, and we're like, okay, we can see why we're here now too, in our small finite mind, whatever. But so anyway,
My night, finite.
My night. That's a good one for finite. That's mine.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Coined that, my night.
My night, mine. Anyway, so I'm like, Papa, what's going on here? I thought you shared all this stuff for us to come to Nashville, and he goes, just stay the course. If you only knew what I had in store for you. Just hang in there. Just hang in there. So then we would just hang in there. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing though? Is this like just an installment? Is this installment 1 where you're showing us the land? We're getting the feel.
Right.
We're getting our own ideas of what it was. Sussed out, as they say in Canada. And sure enough, yes, because we had not gotten the full Edenic download, which was sure to follow after we left Nashville last spring to go into Kauai.
Okay, yeah. So we pick it up there when we have my night finite. So when we left Nashville, we were like, okay, we just want to go back to what makes us feel comfortable, back to the tropics,
We're
back
done
to the
with
warmth,
this
back to the
brown,
fruit,
all the
back
traffic,
to,
all the
So, and this is again, looking at
Our
surface
flesh,
stuff, right?
yeah.
Surface stuff. And yet we had a little deeper revelation going on there, but we were like, okay, this has got to be an installment because we're leaving. So we left. We went and did another contract assignment in Kauai, which we were super happy about.
Yeah,
And
we felt the release.
we
And
felt the release. And this, listen, guys,
We would've stayed.
when something dries up, when the grace lifts inside of you, that's when really the antennas need to be up like the Batman building,
Yeah.
and just say, hold on, what is going on here? This isn't normal.
Right. And can I add too that it wasn't normal because we kept saying we would drive through the city and we're like, okay, Lord, we're willing to stay. We're willing to stay if you just show us a little bit more
Right.
or whatnot. So we were open. It wasn't like us just completely saying,
No.
oh, we're done. We're gone. No, we were like, we've known what God has said to us over this land. And so, but then we felt that release and God was creating a bridge because he had another installment to give to us to bring back here. So, I mean, the journey's always bigger than you think, right?
It really is. And there's elements, again, that have to be added and, bit by bit. Now, you can go after, you can chase, you know this, guys, but for the sake of those that are going after something and they're chasing their dream, whatever that may be, you can do that, right? There's a lot of people chasing their dreams out there in the world and they're making it happen. But at what price?
Yeah.
And at what egoic level? What conditioning level is it at to where they have to keep adding the elements themselves, grinding and
so
hustling,
hard.
doing it all through sweat and toil. And then they wind up empty and broken in the end because they're like, okay, I did all this hard work. And yet there wasn't wind at their back. There wasn't wind in their sails to make it effortless like Eden does, right? So there's a lot to it. But we went back to Kauai, and then we were like, okay, why are we here? We always ask that, and I don't know if you do, but it's a good question to ask. Like, okay, why are we here? Not just, oh, okay, I'm just going to make stuff happen, and yeah, this is a cool place. But why? Because there's always a reason where you're at. Is for a time and a season. It could be a long one, it could be a short one, but you are there very specifically for the soil and the land and the frequencies that you deliver in that land and your footprint, your energetic spiritual footprint in the land.
And it's never just one thing I've found.
It's never.
Our Mennonite,
Our Mennonite
we
minds.
usually think it's one thing. Okay, this is why I'm here, right? Now, God is like the master chess player in a cool way, right? He is moving so many cooperative components around that you couldn't even see, you didn't realize you needed, or that wanted to be added to you. And so there's always multiple things happening, as you guys know, whatever season, whatever placement you're in. This is getting checked off on you. This is getting freed up in you. This is being added to you. You're helping this person's life.
Like
you're helping
recipe.
that person's life. It's really a recipe. But what comes out of it, and you're done when it's baked and ready.
That's right. Andy knows full well about that.
And don't rush the process.
So we're in Kauai.
Yes.
So we're in Kauai, and we're saying, okay, what's going on? So we're enjoying everything there is to, about the North Shore. We're in the North Shore of Kauai. It's like Jurassic Park. It's everything you can imagine, right? And more. Eden. Which is the point. So let's back up for a minute. 14 years ago, unbeknownst to us of why we were doing it, we took 3 wooden stakes and wrote the words governor of Hawaii. We wrote the words freedom and freedom from eradicate poverty, all of these life-giving words on these wooden stakes at the prompting of a friend of ours named Ron. He's like, I really feel like you need to drive some wooden stakes down in the land over there in Kauai. Well, we did it on the North Shore, exactly where we went back to this last winter. This was 14 years ago. We drove these wooden stakes into the soil in strategic places.
And we had words about being governors.
We had words about being governors of Hawaii, right?
Energetically, naturally, however that plays out.
So we didn't know if that was literal, which we thought was literal because we have such a love for Hawaii. But unbeknownst to us, we get this major download this last time about Edenic governance, governing with Eden inside and outside of our lives, that we would be governors, just one of some, of the Edenic way, Edenic awakening, a prototype. Because we were in the Garden of Eden on Kauai, it looks like something that you would just Adam and Eve would walk right out of, right, in the North Shore if you've never been there. totally gorgeous, right? But it's known as the Garden of Eden as well. It's coined that. So,
there's
so we were getting
ancient-
this download about Eden. I mean, major stuff, right? Just download after download after download.
and just
so,
infusing in us
Yeah.
energetically. I mean, that land, it speaks to you, it holds you. I mean, we were just getting infused with remembrance and our cells just being recalibrated and just,
yeah, and even I was just reminded, you know how God gives little cookie crumbs along the way in your life? If you're not paying attention, you begin to remember, which is God is faithful with this, but you begin to remember those cookie crumbs. And one of them was, we met a woman named Eden during our Red Cross stint on Maui with the Maui fire situation. So we were working with the Red Cross for about 6 months, and we helped them with the housing and all that. But one of the main people there, her name was Eden. And so, you know, there's clues, and we've had so many other things happen, but this was a major one. We actually had a major awakening ourselves about Eden and how we were in this awakening of Eden, that the globe, the humanity was, and they didn't realize it. So then God said, take Eden now and go back to Nashville.
oh man, that was a tough one.
That was a tough one because he wanted, there's actually Edenic lines spiritually in history running through
Yeah.
Nashville that people have left imprints of in the land. And so we didn't know that either until he started unveiling that.
Right, and then he said, because I'm like, Papa, why? You know, why do we have to leave? I'm so at home here in Hawaii. This is just, I mean, I feel it in my womb. I feel it in my whole being. And I'm just like, why? You know, why would you take me away from here? and he and the Lord
tough.
and the Holy Spirit they'd say, because you are embodying Eden now. You're embodying Hawaii, and I need you to take it to Nashville, take it to the mainland, and anchor it in and awaken people to their remembrance. And so we're like, okay. And they kept saying, you don't need Hawaii right now. It's in you. She's right in you. So, yes, but oh my gosh, yeah. If we could stay. Oh,
But he promised us that we wouldn't have to give it up forever.
Yes, yeah. He
But
goes,
that
you'll be
it was
going back.
always in our line, you know, that we would be visiting, going in and out. Yeah, we love it too,
See,
you guys. You know,
Oh,
you
yep.
know. And anybody that's been there,
and
it's
then
a very
Gabe's over in Maui, Gabriel. So
yeah, very special place. So, but here's another thing. There was a prophetic word that was given years and years ago by a prophetic voice that's pretty well known that said that there would be a wave that would come out of the islands and hit the mainland with such beautiful force. It wasn't, you know, the force that we think of, but a beautiful heavenly force that that Hawaii would actually have a major voice in what it carries to the rest of the mainland.
they hold keys, you guys. They really hold keys.
Yeah, and so when you look at Eden overall and what it represents, this is a part of that, you know, and we feel like when you come to a place like Nashville and you bring a different sound, a different spirit about it, and a different frequency, tuning fork, what you're going to do is come up against a religious spirit, because we're in the Bible Belt, okay? So you're going to come up against tradition.
Exactly, teleport.
You're going to come up against tradition. And you know, guys, if you've been to the Bible Belt, you know there's a lot of institutionalism. There's a lot of real religiousness going on. And so when you're commissioned with that, you're like, okay.
We've been conditioned. This
Yay!
makes sense, guys. We have been conditioned by the system to be able to make it through this.
Yeah, but when you say, okay, bring Eden to Nashville, you're like, huh? But God never does anything conventional anyway. You know that.
Yeah. But we know that religious spirit. We know how to handle it in grace and to see what's underneath it and be able to hum people back into their remembrance of who they are in God without all the religious construct anymore. And Papa God told us, he goes, there are so many that they've been in the religious system, they are burnt out, they are fed up, they are looking for the new, they're wanting to return back to their sound, and that is why I'm sending you guys in as tuning forks of resonance to pull them back to the original blueprint, to hum it back, to harmonize just by our presence and him lining people up. Like, we just met somebody yesterday. We just were going out to breakfast and we ran into this lady. It was so cool, just instantly connected. And she's in a place right now where she was called here, but she's trying to find it. And it's so easy to loop back because of our conditioning, you know, especially in religion. What do? We go and search for the church in the new place and just kind of stay in that loop. And what if God is calling you out of that? What if he's pulled you away from what you were used to in your 30 years of churchiology and all that kind of stuff, which had so many great things as well. But God is like pulling you out to deconstruct some things, to bring some clearing, to rehum you and open you up to the bigger field, to the bigger picture, the greater family of restoration that we're all going through. I mean, my gosh, we lived in such a small box when we were in religion because that's what we were taught. And God's saying, you're so much bigger than that. I want you to connect with humanity, connect with the cosmos, connect with Earth. This is a grand family event that is going on right now. So...
yeah, thank you, Janine.
Yeah, so it was interesting just to see that. And we just stumbled into her, right? And so...
but, you know, it all...
there's
really,
resonance. You're led in the field.
Yeah, and really it makes sense now when you look at the bigger picture of why we've had things in our hearts for decades. And you can look at it yourself and think about your own life and your own journey. And you see these elements that are added to you, and you see bits and pieces, and then you're like, okay, I had to become something. I had to grow into and expand to something that would be able to position our lives to be able to not only handle the weight of it, but also the weight of it, the W-A-I-T, the weight and the weight of it. Because when we're patiently waiting and not really patient, but when we are forced to be patient, you develop some real character traits. You know, you're either going to buck up against it, you're going to fight against it, or you're going to surrender. And so really, you know, it's kind of the message that of this particular life is, you know, we chase it or release it. You know, when we chase, we push away. But when we release, we're like, okay, elements are being added. We're expanding, we're growing, we have growing pains.
Yeah.
It's messy, you guys. It's messy. Awakening is messy. If anybody tells you anything different,
yeah, you'll feel
they
like
haven't
you're
gone
a mess,
through it.
a hot mess.
It is. It's a hot mess. However, internally, your spirit is singing. Your spirit is just like alive. Your spirit is like, yes, 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 yes. But then the outer conditioning and your soul and the, you know, digging your heels in sometimes and you don't want to say yes.
Hold on and control everything.
Yeah.
And God is just like waiting for you to just be done and just get exhausted from trying to hold everything in place. And then once we release that, surrender, let go, flow, he can finally move the cooperative components around you to actually line up to give you the best. I mean, my gosh, right? Why do we think we're in charge and can control all this? It's just nuts. I mean,
you think you're in control?
No.
Nope. No. Not at all.
No. You can if you want, but see how that works out for you, right? We all know.
That's an illusion, really. Yeah, you try to control, you know, a red light.
The key
it's an illusion.
The key,
you know?
Right. The key is resonance and alignment.
It really is.
Resonance and alignment. And you know what's amazing too, though, is your desires, your real pure desires, they're usually signposts of alignment. And we've been taught in religion, or we've been taught by our upbringings to just shut that down, poo-poo it, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if you're genuinely getting a desire to do something to relocate or move or whatever it is, even in the simplest things, follow that because it is a sign of alignment. That's your really calling of alignment. And
you know, we're so impressed by people that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s that say, okay, another thing is unfolding in front of me. They're not just sitting down and retiring somewhere in some rest home, some, you know, retirement place because they know innately that's going to take them out because, you know, if you look at the stats just in the natural, people that retire and they just sit down, they're like, okay, I'm going to go fishing. Do they really go fishing? Well, maybe sometimes.
Once or twice.
But then they wind up dying early because They're not allowing the great unfolding to happen and the expansion to take place. They're putting on the brakes. But what happens when we stiffen ourselves? Then we can become broken. We break ourselves. But when we allow this expansion and movement becoming like water, even at 70 and 80 years old, wonderful creative ideas can pop up because age is just a number, right, you guys? Age is just a number. That's all it is. We can do things well into, in fact, I would argue with anyone that says that my life's over at 60 or 70. That's when your life is just beginning, because now you have the spiritual equity of all of that experience, the spiritual equity of all of that patience and all of that expansion and all of that growth that has now come onto the scene to say, okay, wow, there's the spiritual equity that I have built up unknowingly and knowingly. Spiritual equity, you guys. Experiential equity coming up and out now, where you never had it in your 30s. Thought you had it in your 30s. You only have a portion of it in your 30s. See, I used to struggle with this at my age.
Let the wine age. Let the wine age.
When I hit 50, I was like, my life's over. I had this meltdown. I had this crazy kind of, it was, what do you call it? Midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis. He didn't chase after women or get a sports car. No. It was just internal shutdown.
Yeah, God said, you're going to go. And then I asked, because I finally came out of some numbness, that I was in this depression and numbness. And I said, what's going on? He said, I'm allowing you to feel what other men feel in midlife crisis without it tainting your spirit. And I was like, okay, well, that's nice to know, but this isn't fun to go through it, because I didn't want it to be brought on myself. I didn't want it, but obviously I needed to experience them, because it gave me greater compassion for men that are really going through. Women go through it too, but really men, it hits them so hard because they identify with so much of their work. You know, it's an identity crisis that some men go through. And then
we're not
I had all these
purpose yet, you know.
Yeah, I had all these our spiritual friends that are around us at the time. I was preaching in Canada and all this kind of stuff. And they would look at me like, "What? Your life's fine. What's going on? What do you mean you're going through this midlife?" I said, "Guys, I can't explain it. I can't explain it other than it's not going to ultimately crush me or taint my spirit. That's what I've been promised. But I'm feeling this for a reason." And it was hard on both of us. But we went through it. And just like you're going through seasons and times of difficulty. Humanity is going through growing pains. The earth is holding its breath right now. And it's beginning to want to exhale. Holding its breath. And you know when you hold your breath, you got tight butt syndrome, you got TBS.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's stressed and everything's clenched. Well, that's what's going on in Minneapolis right now. That's what's going on in the White House right now. That's what's going on in politics right now. That's what's going on in religion right now. It's TBS, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Clenching them cheeks. And the earth is holding its breath, right? But the exhale of Eden is coming.
Yes.
We're starting to see the light of day. We're starting to see the breaking open. And it is coming. You feel it rumbling. People can't explain what's going on, but they can feel something inside of them. They're like, something big, something big, something big. And it's not going to be a little movement and a little denomination of an Episcopalian guy on his knees crying out and praying for 36 hours a day, right? There is no 36 hours a day. Here comes a train. Hear that? That's an Edenic train. Oh, coming through. It's not going to come that way because it's not relegated to a certain denominational flavor of the month. It is a humanity awakening.
Yeah, no more separation, you guys. My gosh, were we taught separation in religion, right? I mean, us and them, we're at war. All this, same with politics, right? The two are the same wings of the bird. But yeah, when we remember, we're all one big family. We're just at different levels of awakening, and to not even neglect the earth. My gosh, creation, there are companions. Everything is all elementals. I am the elements. It's just so much we were just kind of asleep to. We had forgotten that we're connected to all these things. And so it's a big cosmic production going on here, and just family, but bring it back down to family, of just the awakening that's taking place. But I know you guys can feel it. We see it happening around, all the stuff churning up because it has to churn up,
It
right?
has to.
It has to come to light. It has to be witnessed so that we can release it. And that's what's awesome about what's happening now. More than ever, people are just like, wow, I'm seeing this for what it is. I'm seeing politics for what it is. I'm seeing religion for what it is. I'm seeing
The corporate world for what it is.
my marriage, my kids, my job. I mean, everything that is not true to you, that it was misaligned. Or maybe it was for that time and you had completed it, but you were still holding on and you can't anymore. It keeps slipping from your hands. It's like it's not working anymore. And so again, the only way through is paddles up. Release it so the water can
Paddles.
take you through.
So let's ask the question from any of you listening.
Yeah. Love your
How many,
comments.
and relationships as well, this is a big one. How many have had a relationship, a person, a friend, a family member, whatever, just kind of turn their back on you or walk away and disappear? Whatever it may be. You just don't hear from them anymore, or there's a misunderstanding and you want to clear it up, but you can't. They've kind of just, you've gone, what's happened is you've gone like this. You've increased and expanded, and you can cross each other right like this. You could even be in the same store walking right by and not even see each other because of the frequency change, because of the awakening change. So how many is anybody on your head, anybody walk away from them or a friend or you didn't understand it? Janine, Andy, anybody?
Yeah. Gabriel, all you guys.
Anybody.
Yeah,
And
so-
if that's happened, if it hasn't, it's going to. I know it hurts, but and the reason it has to, because of where you're going, where we're going. When we say yes, and we say it every day, right? When you wake up and you put your feet on the floor, you're saying yes. So are we.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes to the relationship question. So you get it. Sort of, right? You may not understand the full picture of why they walked or why they left, but they did. We had that happen several times in our life, even recently. There's one that was near and dear to my heart, a friend that I thought was a good friend. There's a misunderstanding that happened in a church years ago.
And sometimes people just don't want to let go of certain things.
And he's believing a lie about us, about me particularly, and I've never gotten to find out what that lie is. And you know how, because you're human, it hurts, and you just want some resolution there, but it hasn't come, and it may never. And I have to be okay with that because, the Paddles Up has caused the water level to rise, and because I'm saying yes to awakening, it just expands you past that anchoring in of the egoic structure that says, I don't care about you anymore, or I don't want to have a relationship with you. I don't have energy. I have somebody in my own family said, I don't have energy for a relationship anymore with you. And that hurt. But, when you keep loving, when you keep the love on, when you continue to say, all right, I don't understand what this means, then that person eventually will come back around in this lifetime or the next. And you just have to be okay with that, right? And I know it's hard, but you have to be okay. Why? Because other people are now being added on the train. It's like the train that went by. You're stopping at the next depot in your awakening stops, the seasons and journey along your life, and then somebody else gets on the train. The other person got off a while back. That has to take place for where you're going and what's being added to you in your expanded state. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be a mismatch, and it'll be like oil and water trying to hold on to some old wineskin that doesn't want to be held on to. It's disintegrating, right?
Or you'll delay things because you keep trying to hold on to the past, and God's like, okay, I have this coming to you, and now it keeps delaying, and I have to keep moving things around because we're not going to override your will, but this is available for you. But until you release this over here, you may even miss the opportunity. I mean, it's interesting how that works. I mean, God is so gracious again, but do we really want to risk that? And again, there's no pressure. Again, God is amazing at what he does, but you know, when you feel that stirring inside of you, when you know you need to let something go. And again, hence the title, Chase It or Release It. And it's so tempting, isn't it, you guys, when you start feeling you start feeling the pull or the split or just whatever's happening and you want to chase it. I know for John and I, we're big communicators. We're very relationally oriented. And so, but sometimes other people are not that way. And so, you know, we want to just go right there and just say, hey, tell me what's going on. And we can sense there's something off, and then we'll feel this hold in our spirit. Like, no, this is what's going on with this person. They're not ready for who you are.
They're not ready.
They don't want to. Anyway, it's no longer a vibrational match, so to speak. And so you have to be okay. We had to be okay. I had to be okay just release it and not chase it. Because we can go in and defend. And then what do? When we chase, it pushes it away even more, or it'll flip on you, right? The very thing your good intentions are trying to do to restore something, they end up projecting their stuff on you and saying, what's wrong with you? Or they deny it because they can't even see it. And so it's really interesting, isn't it, you guys?
Yeah.
So,
thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
You guys have been too. You know, it's so refreshing to have people that believe in you and all of that. But more importantly, it's like where you can be yourself. We're just being ourselves, and then you can relate to that. And none of us want to wear the masks anymore. Never wanted to begin with, but somehow they got forced onto us through the dog and pony shows of life, right? No matter what genre or industry you're in. But I'd like to say this too. Amy's dead on with this. It's like some relationships were built in egoic posturing, and we have to just be honest about that. So, for example, marriages that are coming apart right now, it's not the big bad devil. Mm-hmm. The entities can get in there, but a lot of that is you met someone at an egoic level.
Or a wounded level.
Or a wounded egoic level, and you outgrew that, right? You just out-expanded, you outgrew it, you rose, and that other person was stubborn and didn't understand or was blind, whatever, and didn't want to go there and still doesn't. So rather than blaming the devil and blame shifting and trying to cast the devil out of something that may not even be anywhere around it, just could be egoic posturing, right? And so God is shining the light to where we can be really honest in the mirror. And when we look in the mirror, we're like, okay, is this a match? And whether it's a friendship, and I tell you, for women, this is a hard struggle with being a mama and your children, letting go of those children that have said, I don't want your advice anymore. I don't want you mothering me. I don't want you smothering me. I don't want you around me. And they've walked away. The compulsion of a mama bear is to chase and explain your life away, right? And prove a mother's love, right? Some dads are like this, but mostly mamas. Mamas, you know, it's hard. That's my child. I birthed you into the world. I could take you out, honey. That kind of thing, right? But as I birthed you into this world and you're going to walk away, I don't think so. You are going to listen to me. We don't have grace for that right now.
It's not working.
It's not working. Now, that's the same with friendships. That's the same with marriages. That's the same with work relationships, ministry relationships. We can't tell you how much of the ministry relationships have gone like this now. They're walking by and they're passing by. We don't even see each other anymore. Why? Because we're like, we're not going to stay in that box.
No.
We're going to follow God.
The ceiling. We hit the ceiling.
Hit the ceiling.
God is not, there's no ceilings with God. And when you guys know, when you've journeyed with Papa and Christ and Holy Spirit and just your dream team, all your support, your angels, all that, you know they're always expanding you and blooming and waking you up to new things and experiences. It should never be boring. Never. Oh my gosh, if you are bored.
Life is not boring.
You are stuck in religion. Guys, and there's nothing wrong. Hear me out. Absolutely nothing wrong with community. I mean, community is beautiful.
It's amazing, yeah.
But if you have a leader or whatever that is just, you're hitting the ceiling.
Suppressing.
And then you're just kind of, it's like the goldfish mentality, right? The goldfish can't grow when it stays in that little bowl. And it's, and God is calling you to leap into the ocean. But that's what happens because all the protocol, all the religious things we've learned growing up in that, you just will keep looping. You'll keep until you
Yeah.
set yourself free, when God's over here saying, come on out, come out from among them. I'm going to show you the great sea of opportunity, the great sea of humanity, and let me reveal my full spectrum to you without you feeling like you're going to be deceived. You're going to all this kind of threats and fear that the religious spirit tries to tell you. Oh, you guys, it's all fear. The moment it is based in fear, put your ear of discernment up, because God does everything with love and grace and light and fruit, and test the fruit. That's what he said. You'll know their spirit. You'll know them by their love for one another. And so it's safe. It's safe outside the box, you guys. You can go back into the box and meander, community, friends.
Yeah, if you're led.
How does it feel?
Yeah, how does it feel with your whole body? So, it's like Jesus said, who are my mother and my brothers? Those that do the will of my Father. So I'm going to do John's version of that. So, who are those that are the closest to me, those that are around my sphere of influence and influencing me, around my life that are in proximity? Those that do the will of Edenic rhythm. Father, definition of father in one context is rhythm. Unconditional love is God is a spirit, right? That spirit is rhythm, it's flow. So those that enter the will of flow, those that enter unconditional love's flow will take them somewhere. Those that are sons of God and daughters of God are led by the rhythm of God, by the flow of God, by the harmonics of God, by the Edenic rhythm of God. Resonance.
Yes.
And so when you're led by the resonance, you're hearing the sound. Those that hear the sound of my voice, right? So when they hear the sound of rhythm's voice, they're going to flow in that rhythm.
Yes.
This is why white men, you need rhythm. We all need rhythm. We all have rhythm, whether you knew it or not. And white men can jump, and we do have rhythm, baby. So we follow the rhythm.
Baby.
We follow the rhythm of love. Those that do the will of the Father's rhythm are the sons and daughters. So what is a box of institutionalism, whether it's a corporate world, religious world, governmental structure? There's no rhythm in that.
It's tight butt syndrome.
It's TBS. TBS. So you try to have rhythm inside of a box, and the other people don't want to flow and dance in that rhythm. Ooh, you're going to have conflict. They're going to say, get the music out of the room. We don't want that kind of rhythm. We don't want that kind of music.
Yeah.
It's too freeing. We don't realize it yet, but we just look at somebody that's too free. We had a guy, we mentioned this before. He was a guy that came out of gangs, and he would dance like nobody's business up front when worship was going on in a church years ago. And he would dance and dance. And Amy and I would love it. We were just like, look at it, man. He is just going after it. And he would just dance wildly like you could picture David dancing in the Bible or whatever. And we finally found out about his story. And we're like, oh, that's why this guy is so happy and free. But it didn't sit too well with some of the leadership, and they were like going, you can't be that free, because it was upsetting the tithers. It was upsetting the influential people in the midst. So they put a clamp down on him and made him sign a paper saying that he would calm down. So what was happening there? His rhythm was too much for the box. Too much. And so when that happens, it literally or figuratively speaking, especially frequency-wise, oftentimes you get accused in leadership in an institution of a church or government or corporate structure of being like, whoa, wait a minute, you're out of pocket here, stay in your lane. When you have a brilliant idea that came out of Eden's flow in you, the rhythm of the Father, it came through you, and you share that, and they're like, we're going to keep you small, buddy. We are going to keep you small. Don't rock the boat. We're going to keep you boxed in. And guess what? We're going to stay in our head and try to make you as dead as we are. This is why Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. What was he saying? You walk away from that which does not have rhythm. Walk away that is not rhythmic and is not harmonic. Walk away from it or you're already dead.
Yeah. And this is so key of what we're transitioning out of with this big shift right now is God is upgrading our beings to tune into the harmonics, to resonance versus logic. And we've talked about this in several videos before, but gone are the days, thank you, Lord, where we are not led by our head. We are not led by the logics, by the reason. Have you guys seen this more than ever? Where you feel a resonance or you feel a prompt in your spirit and you're like, oh, I should do this, or oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or oh, and you override it with your head. You override, you're in your head, you're dead, right? So then boom, you're just like, oh. So then I'm like, oh, Lord, I should have known. And he goes, that's okay. This is training. This is training. Keep practicing. Keep practicing. So, but resonance is going to keep us walking straight through this birth canal transition. We are in such a key time right now from 25 to 30. I mean, there is so many words from every civilization that have spoken about this time of the Great Awakening and the shift and the birthing canal, and what's on the other side is incredible. And so, you guys, we're going to make it. But stay in that resonance. Let everything slide off that is not in alignment and true to you, and just stay as relaxed and loose as you can. Is it worth it to hold on?
No.
It's just not.
And
it's not.
We would highly suggest
the things that need to go.
Highly suggest that you don't anchor into a political persuasion either, because it's permeating the church. It's permeating every area of society right now, especially in America. You see it all over the news. It's plastered in every conversation, in every coffee shop. It's everywhere, right? If you anchor into a particular side, you may be shocked in the future, very shocked. Anchoring in, we're going above it. In fact, we already are seated above it. Every one of us listening to this, you're seated above it already. Seated in the heavenly places, and that's Eden. Seated in Eden, far above principalities, powers, might, and dominion. That means you're seated above all the political fighting, all of the institutional arguments, seated above everything that is egoically established and fallen. Mm-hmm. So if you're seated there, who is seated next to you and who are you seated next to? You are seated next to the one who sits in the heavens and laughs and holds the nations in derision.
Assume the position.
Assume the position of laughter and dancing. Yes, Janine.
It is
dancing.
Not optional, guys.
It's not optional. We create the dance, like Andy said. Create the dance. Whatever is pulsating in us, we move to that rhythm, just like you guys did on the cruise ship.
Oh,
you were moving on the celebratory cruise ship according to the rhythm that was in you and bouncing up and down inside of you. And you're like, okay, you know how Edenic and heavenly that is? That's just not a fleshly kind of egoic, just normal thing that you do. No, you were establishing something on that cruise ship. Whether you realize it or not, you probably do, because you guys are very, very insightful and very intuitive. Mm-hmm. But you're establishing something of the Edenic order on that cruise ship that actually is going to have a lasting imprint and footprint there for the next people to aboard that ship. And then they're going to feel something, they're going to awaken something without you preaching to anybody. You were preaching through your dancing.
Resonance and presence. This is so the key. We don't realize how powerful it is. Resonance and presence. And again, our logic, we've been taught that it's all about language and verbiage and everything. But in the very beginning, everything was rhythm. It was vibrational, frequency, tones, sung forth. So presence, you emanated. That's why we can feel when somebody walks in the room. Well, that's going to be getting more and more evident. And so again, resonance and presence. More powerful than you realize. So, but yeah, back to Eden. I mean, on the cruise ship. And like Janine, I think you were mentioning to me too in a message about just seeing the contrast of the Matrix. You know, when you step out and you go into play and you're on the ship and everything, and then you're like, man, it's so healthy. It's so good to see the contrast of how we get so serious sometimes in our routine or in our modes. It's that our nervous system has been so wired to take over. It's that unconscious momentum, right? And even right now, like for us, we're in this transitional state, and it's so easy for our unconscious nervous system to just pick up, okay, we're in the new, let's go into the next thing. And all along, I know for me, like I was saying at the beginning, my body's like, I just want to take a day and do nothing. Just play, just rest, just, But then that nervous system kicks in saying, no, we need to move forward into this, or we need to do that, or, it's the shoulds. No.
It's the shooting all over us.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. And it's all coming up to be witnessed and released, right? And to give ourselves permission to be in that state of peace and just hum and allow it to just bloom. All the things that we're learning, allow the bloom. And so sitting in Papa's presence. So anyway, I'm just being real, right? That's part of the process, especially in transitions, and giving ourselves time to actually release the past season. Like this past one we were in right after Kauai was super intense internal work and generational stuff and things with family and freeing up and writing and aligning and oh man, we got squeezed, but it was so necessary. I mean, Papa was saying, you asked for this, you signed up for this before you came, you just forgot. This is we're getting down into the bedrock of things before you head into Nashville. And so
yeah, we had to get rid of the Colgate kind of toothpaste tube in order to make expanded for the new wineskin that's coming that is healthier, right? Because of all that old Colgate residue or whatever it is that has the bad stuff in it is actually squeezing it out to make room for the new. And it's very interesting. Janine said, I have a cool story about the dancing on the cruise ship. She's going to release it on her next YouTube.
Cool.
Awesome.
I can't wait. Send it to me.
You guys had some dance moves. I'd love to see that. Keep dancing. Keep dancing. Keep away from the desire or the pulses to chase. You guys, this is so prevalent right now and so strong that the compulsion and the impulses to want to chase anything right now is strong, but yet you're stronger. Mm-hmm. The authentic part of you, the greater part of who you are, your spirit, is stronger than that which has been conditioned to believe something else. So let it dissolve, sit in it, look at it, send love to it, or watch it go by.
Or welcome it into the light so it can dissolve and restore.
All those things, whatever you feel compelled to do in your spirit, then the urge to want to chase that person down and explain yourself, oh my gosh, I don't know how strong that's been in me over the last 6 months, and I've had to just sit with it and be okay with it, not chasing them down and saying, but I didn't mean to say it that way, or you didn't really understand who I am. Don't you see me? Don't you understand me? Yeah. And good. I'm glad that helps, Andy. And we help each other, right? We help expand each other. We help grow each other. We help encourage one another. Encourage is, just yesterday, encourage people as much as possible, even if you don't feel like it. Just smile at somebody or just say a kind word.
Presence.
We said something at the gym just yesterday to a young guy. I saw it on him, and I didn't feel like saying anything. You know how you just want to put your head down sometimes and just get through the moment? I didn't feel like it, but yet I knew that I felt a little impulse, a little nudge.
Resonance.
And said to this young guy named Zach, I said, Jack.
It rhymed.
Yeah. No, it was Jack. It's Jack. You're right. So I said to him, I said, look, I see producer on you. Like, have you thought about producing music? And he's like, yeah, I wanted to do that. Wow. Like you saw me, he was saying somebody saw me, somebody heard me, even if it's just a word of encouragement or, like Amy always comments women on their hair and their clothes and their things they're wearing in the cash register line and the line to go out the door, and that you should see how they light up. So it's important right now. The reason I'm saying this, it's so important for the encouragement to happen because we are going through a massive change, meaning humanity is. A massively good change, but the residue is rising. And so it can be skimmed off and dissolved, right? Mm-hmm. But we're going through a massive, massive, massive change and awakening right now.
That we signed up for. We wanted to be here at this time because it's again, it's one of the most incredible shifts that have ever happened in the earth. And we all wanted a front row seat on it to be a part of it and see the transformation and transition out of the false matrix into the original, back to the original blueprint of Eden. Which, guys, Eden is not just the garden, right? Eden is the original harmonic frequency blueprint sung forth out of God that runs through our DNA and spirit. It is the way, right? It is the way God originally intended and how we operate in our true fullest flame. And so it's exciting that it is coming back online. It's just been buried with so many overlays and decades and generations of collective beliefs and mindsets and powers and forgetting. And so that, again, the great remembrance is taking place now. We are remembering who we are.
The great remembrance. You know, it could be even said, it's like, okay, Eden awakening, the great remembrance. It's because we are waking up to remember, you guys. We're not being taught new things. That's not that, you know, when Jesus came, one of the accusations was, you're teaching these new strange truths, right? And he's like, hold on. I'm just reminding you.
And removing.
And removing that which labels.
Yeah.
Right?
Man stacks up on, all the laws they were stacking up on
Stacking up. And he's like, hold on a minute. It's not about that. It's about, I'm reminding you, this is why the children, I love the children. Bring the children in. Don't push them away. Bring them in. For such is the kingdom. What is that? That's innocence. And innocence is Eden. I'm reminding you of the Edenic innocence, but you keep piling all the stuff on people. Heavy loads that they can't bear. That's institutionalism. That's incarceration. You're incarcerated. You're in prison when you have all these heavy things on your life, whether that doesn't matter what genre that is, right? And so we're being freed up from all of this stuff. And it's a messy, messy thing, but it's a very beautiful, beautiful thing. So have grace and patience for the messiness with each other. We try to do it as much as possible as a couple. We have our moments, believe me. We have our moments. And it's mostly this guy right here, because I get stubborn sometimes. But I'm quick to apologize.
Yes, he is.
I'm quick to come in and want to talk about it.
Yes.
And men, I encourage you, whoever listens to this as a man, and you're a man, like a real man, a biological man. If not, we'll pray for the other stuff. But you're a biological man. Talk about it. Force yourself to talk about it. Don't stuff that stuff. It will manifest in all kinds of dis-ease. It'll manifest in psychological warfare. It'll manifest in psychological trauma. It'll manifest in all kinds of isms and schisms you don't want. So talk it out with somebody that's safe.
Yeah.
Get it out. Get it out. Let it come out. If you have to go scream in the middle of a field or in your truck or in your car and your pillow, whatever it is, you scream that stuff out and get it out.
Yeah, because it's an energetic release.
It is.
Otherwise, you are holding that in your cells and it is just bearing down, causing your cells to send symptoms, of whatever dis-ease it is to get you to wake up and say, please don't hold this trauma in there anymore. Don't hold this belief in there. And you don't have to hold it all together, right? So again, right?
We were never called as a man to carry it all. Never. We're not the provider.
Yeah.
We always remember that. You as a man are not the provider. You are a vessel that comes in and says, okay, I know who the provider is. I'm going to be containment and a container for my wife. I'm going to be a containment and container for my family.
To fuel it
through.
As protection.
So you're more of a funnel than you are a provider.
You get the first hit, right, of receiving that provision from Papa. And then what does it do? It's like the pay it forward. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so incredible. I want to pay it forward to the one I'm in love with,
That's right.
And so, it's the first hit, the first experience, the first love. And you can't help but be compelled to want to mirror and model that to the one closest to you that you love. That's let it expand from there. So... yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, we could keep going, but for time's sake, guys, we love you, appreciate you. Thank you for chiming in. And hey, howdy, y'all, from Nashville.
Howdy with the shotgun.
Nashville, as they say, Nashville.
Yeah, so we'll share more about it, more downloads we've been getting on it. But You know, we're here, and we're letting God do what he wants to do. And we feel really good. It feels really good to be here, even though our flesh would love to be in Hawaii all day long. But our spirits feel at rest. It feels ripe and right. So, yeah, stay tuned, you guys.
Yeah, funnel. F-U-N. Funnel.
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 Oh, that's good.
I love that.
Ooh,
Love it. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for just your encouragement. And please share this.
Yes.
If you feel led to share this with anybody, share it with anybody.
And we are posting these on YouTube as well. So, I mean, you can always share them from there. And, yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much for being on here with us. And all your encouragement, your comments. I'm telling you, you guys are fuel for our fire a lot of times, right? And so, thank you.
Yeah, one thing just to kind of leave you off with some more excitement, some more fun. In the future, we do plan on hosting some live stuff here in Nashville. So we'd love to have you come out when that starts taking place. We'll have some really cool stuff that we have in mind, along with the bigger vision too. So anyway, we'll share more of that later, but just wanted to put that in your fun space to think about. Let's see. What she say? It says,
I thank God for the kingdom government. That's
leader
right.
is eternal. No vote on that one. I dance everywhere. Yes. Yes. Keep dancing. Keep dancing through the storms.
Eternal beings, you guys.
Through the daylight.
That's another thing we're remembering. We are eternal.
That's right, Andy. You will be.
All right, guys. Love you. We will talk soon. Keep us posted throughout the week. All right. See you again.
Bye-bye.